Darvin Ham has emptied his bench with 57.9 seconds remaining.
No, the same is with us.
Relax, I got it.
I know.
And Denver is one win away from Nuggets history.
Man, that was brutal. I mean, that was probably one of the most difficult defeats that I've seen in quite some time. So we're gonna get to all of that, man. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Can I be honest for a second? The one thing that changed sports for me forever is Prize Picks. Just having a little extra action on the game has made watching games so much more enjoyable, and I've actually been using this to get into other sports as well. A lot of you have DM'd me the amount of money that you guys are making off of Prize Picks, and I post my picks onto my Instagram story every single day. And right now, if you use my promo code microphone, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Mic check 1212. What's going on, everybody? Following the Los Angeles Lakers defeat during Game 2 when they were on the road against the Denver Nuggets, their backs were stacked against the wall. I mean, Game 3 went from a game that could have potentially swung the series in their favor from a 1-1 split to a 2-1 series to being a must-win game at home. And if you don't win this game at home, then you're gonna go down 3-0. And the thing that was really frustrating for me for Game 2 in particular was the fact that it seemed like every single player on the Los Angeles Lakers, aside from LeBron James and Anthony Davis, performed remarkably well. I mean, Anthony Davis was 4 of 15 in Game 2. LeBron James went 9 of 19 in Game 2. He wasn't able to make a single three-pointer in the entirety of this series until the second half of Game 3. But at the same time, the role players for the Los Angeles Lakers have been performing remarkably. I mean, Austin Reeves in Game 2, 8 of 16 for 22 points. Rui Hachimura went 8 of 10 for 21 points. Typically, the storyline behind LeBron James's career is the fact that he doesn't have enough help and he needs more help in order to be successful. And there's memes about it too. How much help does LeBron James need? And the thing that bothered me in Game 2 is it seemed like all the help finally stepped up, but it was LeBron James and Anthony Davis that weren't able to give the Lakers a little bit more of a nudge. And don't get me wrong, Anthony Davis in Game 2, 4 blocks, 14 rebounds, was magnificent on the defensive end. We needed a little bit more offense from him. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. And in Game 3, it seemed like Anthony Davis really came to play. I mean, performing significantly better than he did in Game 2 at the very minimum. First things first, before I talk about Game 3, I want to just say that the fact that we were in this situation to begin with, the fact that we're in the Western Conference Finals as a 7th seed, in my head alone, if you told me that this was going to be the situation in the beginning of the season, I wouldn't believe you. We were such a mess in the beginning of the season with the Russell Westbrook situation, and it really seemed like there was zero light at the end of the tunnel. We were thinking about packaging Russell Westbrook and our 2 unprotected future first-round picks so we could get like Miles Turner and Buddy Hield in return, so we could potentially become a play-in team at best. We started out the season with a horrific record. I would have never imagined getting into the situation that we're in now. And for that, the fact that we were able to swing trades for Rui Hachimura, the fact that we were able to trade away Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn and bring in Mo Bamba, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, the fact that we had the privilege of watching Austin Reeves develop into the player that he is right now, I have tremendous gratitude because at the very minimum, we were very competitive. And this was a team that was scrapped together at the very last minute at the trade deadline. And it was a lot of fun watching this team compete. And we really could hang our hat on this season and be very proud of the season that we had. Yeah, it didn't result in LeBron James winning another championship. And it would have been nice if it could have resulted in LeBron James winning a championship. But that aside, I have tremendous gratitude for Rob Pelinka putting together a roster that I could actually enjoy watching and I could actually watch compete each and every night and really be proud of this team. And then with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and call any of our players trash except D'Angelo Russell. And I'm a huge fan of D'Angelo Russell. I always was a huge fan of D'Angelo Russell. I even have his jersey from his rookie season to give you an idea, because D'Angelo Russell not only performed horribly throughout this entire series, but but it seemed like he was holding his teammates back as well. I mean, with the touches that he took away from Austin Reaves, I don't know if I'm more mad at D'Angelo Russell or Darvin Ham for playing D'Angelo Russell. To give you an idea, in game 1, D'Lo had 8 points for 4 of 11 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. In game 2, 10 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. In game 3, he had 3 points, 1 of 8 from the field, and 1 of 6 from 3. Is it the comments that the Denver Nuggets made about him defensively? Is that all it took to really break D'Angelo Russell? We traded Russell Westbrook for D'Angelo Russell for a reason. It seemed like he just completely sold on the grandest stage of them all. This is kind of on Darvin Ham as well, because Austin Reaves was clearly performing remarkably. What the hell are you doing consistently playing D'Angelo Russell if Austin Reaves is the hot hand? I don't know if it's a management thing or if it's the fact that D'Lo just performed really badly in this series, but that's the main player that I want to call out. And come this time next year, you might see D'Angelo Russell saying this.
心情快乐，谢谢你。
I really feel like the Denver Nuggets just have a chemistry that I really can't even overstate. I mean, it seemed like each and every time we shut down one of their players, we saw another player just take over. In the very beginning, in the first half of game 3, Jamal Murray picked up right where he left off in the previous game, which, by the way, if you followed me on Instagram and you rode with my picks, you probably made yourself some money on Prize Picks. Use promo code microphone to get yourself a deposit match if you ever decide to do that. But that was something we did forecast, and that's kind of my evidence to prove it. Nikola Jokic was in foul trouble all night long, and despite that, he was still able to drop over 20 points. He was still able to dish 8 assists. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown performed remarkably tonight. I mean, they really gave the Denver Nuggets even more and made things difficult on the Los Angeles Lakers, despite Aaron Gordon not really doing much tonight. And when you combine that with the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers truly didn't seem to have someone that could stop the prolific Denver Nuggets on defense, it kind of makes sense why we lost game 3 at home. It does sting because it really felt like we could have won game 2. And it really felt like we just failed to pull away in game 3. I mean, LeBron James shot 33% from 3 throughout this game. But at the end of the day, I think we could really hang our hat on this season and just be proud of the season for what it was. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say. The season isn't over. Whenever you're down 3-0 in a series, I personally don't have that much more optimism moving forward. I'm not going to lie. As a Los Angeles Lakers fan, I am most definitely really sad that we're in this position. But as a basketball fan, it's really nice to see the Denver Nuggets finally come up. It's really nice to see a back-to-back MVP and his team that had this reputation of just being really dominant in the regular season, but truly terrible once it comes to the playoffs. It's really nice to see them taking the next step and putting themselves in a situation where they could potentially win the NBA Finals. I know it hasn't been the most competitive conference finals from the perspective of the Miami Heat taking a 2-0 lead on the Boston Celtics, which in of itself is a wild story because they did that on the road, and the Denver Nuggets taking a 3-0 lead on the Los Angeles Lakers, which I'm not gonna lie, as I'm sure Denver Nuggets fans are excited, it definitely kind of cooled down the momentum of the incredibly competitive playoffs that we've been having. But at the end of the day, they deserve it. And there's no better team to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. At the end of the day, you have to remember this if you're a Laker fan. We really overachieved this season. I mean, we really overachieved this season. I didn't even think we'd make it into the playoffs after what happened to us last year and after the way we finished last year. I thought there was no way we'd get out of Russell Westbrook's contract. I thought we were just going to be sitting there waiting on Russell Westbrook's contract to expire. So the fact that that didn't happen is a miracle in of itself. So don't get me wrong. I am sad, but it's really nice to see the Denver Nuggets finally getting their opportunity, and they sure as hell deserved it. It's really nice to see Michael Malone get his opportunity as well. Jamal Murray is an incredible story in of itself. I mean, coming back from the injury that he had and pretty much playing the way he did in the NBA bubble in this year's playoffs needs to be respected and needs to be recognized. Yes, it sucks that we're in this position. Yes, it's not what I wanted for the Los Angeles Lakers, but at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets deserve it. and I'm going to give them their props. They 100% deserve it. It's going to suck because I know this Los Angeles Lakers team might look different next year. I mean, the future of D'Angelo Russell's up in the air. The future of Malik Beasley, Austin Reeves is also up in the air. There's a lot of big decisions this team needs to make, and next year could be LeBron James's final year with the Los Angeles Lakers based upon how his son Bronny's draft situation goes. So we're going to keep you guys updated on everything. I thought I'd get you guys my quick reaction and quick thoughts right here, right now that the game's over. If you're a Laker fan, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.